ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। Hari Om, a very warm, hearty welcome to the first class of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita chanting sessions. It is very delightful to know that there has been lot of wonderful response, and thank you very much for this wonderful response. As we said yesterday, learning Bhagavad Gita in a very systematic format is very important because of the wonderful meaning. At the same time, we need to learn it carefully because of the pronunciation. Alpa prana, mahaprana, hrasva, dirgha, ityadi, we have to take lot of care because they can change the very meaning. We should not say, Swamiji, it doesn't matter much because Bhagavan will understand and Bhagavan will accept. Yes. With due respects, let me tell you, Bhagavan will accept innocent mistakes but not careless mistakes. It is okay if we have not learnt it properly and then out of joy, out of this one, some like small kids, when they say Vaklatunda Mahakaya, Bhagavan will accept. Why? Child has not learnt it properly. It tells out of joy, therefore he will accept. He will also enjoy. But when we people, when we have the opportunity to learn properly, systematically, rightly, and out of our own carelessness, absent-mindedness, daydreaming, etc., if we make mistakes, it is just not mistake, it is aparadha. Therefore, it is very important for us to make sure, if not 100%, it should be at least 99%. If not 99%, 95%. If not 95%, 90%, and below that is not acceptable. Think. Alright, therefore, please be very attentive while learning the Prasthanatraya Bhagavad Gita. In this session, we will be learning it with the sandhis split between the padas. Most of the shloka of the Bhagavad Gita are anushtup and some of them are trishtup. In the Dhyana shloka, there are varieties of chandas, whereas in the Gita proper, it is only these two chandas which has been taken. The tune for anushtup is one and the same. The tune for trishtup is the same. So these two tunes, if we know, gaining the knowledge of the tune is not at all an issue. However, we out of our own inspiration or out of our own expression of tune or concentration on the tune, we should not make mistakes in the chanting. Chanting appropriately, chanting rightly with proper pronunciation is more important than the tune. Like for example, in this Bhagavad Gita, these are called as shlokas, they are not mantras. Mantras are all from Veda. There we have no choice, it has to be chanted the same way. Whereas in Bhagavad Gita, tunes can be changed. One example, Dhritarashtra vacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamakav pandavaschaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. This is a common tune. We can change our tune. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yuyutsavaha mamaka pandavaschaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. We can chant. Tune is not a mistake. Tune is not very, very important, though we have to chant it neatly, beautifully. But pronunciation is extremely important, therefore please take care. So as I said, pada by pada we will go. In between one line, when we split the pada, the sandhi will be split. Since we are splitting it, sandhi cannot go together, it has to be split. So what we have taken in our chanting is the sandhi which is split in between pada, not within the pada. In between the pada we may split the sandhi. So that is how we are going to teach. We have mentioned yesterday already that there are only one book which has split sandhi, that is Chinmaya Mission's Bhagavad Gita Kannada small book. No other book, as far as I know, have this sandhis split within the pada. However, we are displaying it in the big screen here. You may make note wherever the sandhi is split, you may make a note. Therefore, having a book and a pencil, not pen. I underline pencil, not pen. Please do not write anything in any textbook with pen. This is a very important discipline we have to follow. Write it in a pencil. So please have a sharp pencil with you with lead, sharp lead. And then you may also have one eraser with you along when you sit for this class. Alright. These are all small things, but then very, very important. With that, I will start the learning aspect of it. As and when we chant time and again, maybe for first chapter and a few shlokas of the second chapter, I will keep telling you where the split, how it is split, etc. initially. But later, probably after the second chapter or half of second chapter, I will stop explaining on the sandhis being split. Therefore, you must be attentive and you must take note of that. Please note this point very carefully. It is a great delight to get back into this learning of Bhagavad Gita, though it is chanting right now. Later we will also think of classes understanding Bhagavad Gita. It's a great delight to have you all for this chanting classes. All what is required is your commitment, honest involvement. In fact, it might not be wrong if I say indulgence also. Complete involvement, complete commitment, complete dedication is required to know this Shastra very in a deep way, knowing it very rightly, knowing it very clearly. Therefore, I invoke Bhagavan Shri Krishna and Param Pujya Gurudev, who is our Gita Acharya, Swami Chinmayanandaji. Krishna is of course the Gita Acharya, no doubt, but for us it is Param Pujya Gurudev, who had worked for almost 44 years incessantly teaching the Bhagavad Gita wherever he is, in whichever condition he is, whichever place or country he is. In fact, there are times where he had taught Bhagavad Gita on the flight, in the train. To that extent, he had committed himself to propagate the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. So we take Param Puja Gurudev's blessings and then we begin. While we begin, we take the name of the Lord. We will take the Nama Sankirtan, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, and then we will proceed learning the Dhyana Shlokas. We have with us, whom we introduced in the introductory session, Priyanka Kashyap and Srimati Shilpa. When I chant, they will repeat, and when they repeat along with them, you also may please repeat, and this will be the pattern of our learning. So please repeat now. Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama.
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 Sharanam Mama.
Sharanam Mama.
Sharanam Mama.
Sharanam Mama.
Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki Jai. When we begin Dhyana Shloka, we will be chanting the second line, Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita. But when we take the chapters, we will only say Shri Paramatmane Namaha and Atha Prathamodhyayaha Dvitiyodhyaha, whatever it is. Alright. When we begin the Dhyana Shloka, we will chant all these three. Please repeat after me. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
We will repeat 2 times at the beginning, and then we will again repeat once, and then we will go together. This is how the pattern will be when we start the shlokas. This once repeating once will be sufficient. Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Atha Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Atha Dhyanam.
Atha Dhyanam.
Om Parthaya प्रतिबोधिताम्
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधिताम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधिताम्
भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवतीं अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी Now please repeat once. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधिताम्
Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayini Amba Twamanusandadhami Bhagavad-gite Bhavadveshini Now we will go together. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshini Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayini Amba Twamanusandadhami Bhagavad-gite Bhavadveshini. We will chant this Again, the second time. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamunina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvamanusandathami Bhagavad Gite Bhavadveshini. A little note in this shloka. Parthaya Pratibodhitam. Mahapranas must be very clearly maintained. Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam. This is the shloka. We have some people who have the habit of chanting it in a very typical style. It is more, we see it in the south, not in the north. I will chant it that way. Please don't learn it that way. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Muninam Madhye Mahabharatam. Did you get the mistake? This closing the mouth is very often seen in some people, not all of them, of course. No mistakes are done by all of them, but most of the mistakes are done by most of the people. So we need to take care. Bhagavata, it is not Bhagavatam. Similarly, Purana Munina, there we should not close the mouth. Vyasena Grathitam Purana Muninam. Habitually, it comes out of habit. Not that they mean that it should be Nam, but then habitually, especially you can see this more in the Archakas of the temple. For everything they will put one idea that they just want to close the mouth in between. That's all. Or maybe to, take in the saliva. Whatever may be the reason. But that should be taken care. It should not be. Wherever it should not, then it should not. We should not close the mouth. Alright, this is one aspect of it. In the second shloka, now we will see. Here, I am showing this cursor. I am sure you will be able to see it. Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim. Normally in the textbooks, you will find this sandhi. Bhagavati Mashtadashadhyayinim, it will be there. It is correct. That is how it should be written. But since we are breaking the sandhi here, we have split the words for convenience. So what you have to do, you may take your pencil, make a mark on that ma, either it is in Sanskrita or in Kannada, ma, you make a split and just above that for convenience, for your convenience and comfort. For some time after that, that might not be required. You write m if it is Kannada, or ma with a halanta, and then one slash and then say a, meaning the ma is split into m and a. This way you may write. Other occasions, you will not find a visarga where you have to apply, you have to put one visarga. But actually the sandhi has been applied and then visarga drops at many places. We have provided that visarga here for convenience. Alright. One very important aspect while chanting. Now I will time and again for few days I will be keeping, I will keep talking a little to inform you certain important issues. This dot here, if you see, this dot here above is called as Anuswara. And whenever Anuswara comes, there are varied way of chanting. The traditional typical religious orthodox Sanskrit teachers will not want it to be chanted differently. But you always have what is called as Paramparya Parayanam. In the Paramparya Parayanam, the Anuswara is normally taken as M. In fact, for example, Samskrita we say. Actually, it should be chanted, spelled as Sanskrita. It should not be M, it should not be Sanskrita also. It is in between. The tongue will not touch the palate. Sanskrita, it should be pronounced. Samshaya, for Samshaya, we say Samshaya very commonly. But Samshaya is the way it has to be pronounced. Such technical differences we will find. However, we will take the common Paramparya chanting. When I say common Paramparya chanting, it doesn't mean that commonly people make mistake, we can also make mistake. Not that way. It is an acceptable chanting in the Paramparya. In the Parampara, it is acceptable. Therefore, such differences will be there. It is not wrong if we spell it as Sanskrita or Samskrita. Sanskrita is technically correct. Samskrita is generally acceptable. I will not say correct or I will not say wrong. I will call it as generally acceptable. There are certain things which are not acceptable. There we will learn properly according to the right way of chanting. This is very important part. You have to take care of this. So here I said Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini will be there in your book. We have to split like this. Make a mark. Alright. Now we will proceed to the next shloka. Oh. Our time is actually up. 27. One shloka we may learn, then we will close it for today. Alright, 2 shlokas totally. Now please repeat 2 times. Namostute
Namostute
Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Vyasa Vishala Buddhe.
We have to chant 2 times in the first set and then once in the second and then the whole shloka 2 times. This is our pattern. So I go again with the second shloka. Namostute
Namostute Namostute
Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Vyasa Vishala Buddhe.
Normally, some people have got a tendency of dragging a little. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe. Like that, we will not chant. We will avoid all that. So, no unnecessary dragging anywhere. No unnecessarily abruptly cutting anywhere. So, just follow the way it is being taught. Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra
Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha
Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha
Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pradipaha.
This is how commonly people chant. But there is a difference. What is that? Now see this word here. Jnanamayaha Pradipaha. Here the Visarga takes the form of F. Visarga followed by Pavarga. The Visarga will be pronounced as F. Also, this word, it is not Gnana. Very many people pronounced as Gnana or Gyana. In the north, if you go, they will pronounce it as Gyana. Very commonly, we have this Gita Jnana Yajna. For that, people will say Gita Jnana Yajna in the north. In the south, south people are, we have lot of varieties. Telugu people chant in one way, Tamil people chant in another way, Kannada people in another way, Malayalis totally a different way. So regional practices should not come here. We should chant according to Sanskrita. Now here it is, now please note, Jnanam. Jnanam. It is not Gnanam or Jnanam. And the whole word, these two words when it is chanted together, Jnanamayaf Pradipaha. I repeat, Jnanamayaf Pradipaha. Now it is 30 minutes or 31 minutes just now. 1 or 2 minutes we will have to just spare, because sometimes you can't abruptly cut because it is 30 minutes. So 1 or 2 minutes we may have to spill, or 1 or 2 minutes early also I might stop. So please accept this small limitation and we will go. Now having started, we will chant the shloka and conclude for today. Namostute
Namostute
Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
Vyasa Vishala Buddhe
Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra
Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha
Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha
Prajwalito Jnanamayaf Pradipaha
Prajwalito Jnanamayaf Pradipaha. Together
we will chant. Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullara Vindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamayaf Pradipaha. Jnanamayaf Pradipaha. We will conclude it today. Tomorrow we will again learn the second shloka. The pattern will be, we will repeat what we have learned the previous day together and then start the current portion, and then at the end we will again repeat yesterday's portion and today's portion at the end together. This will be our pattern from tomorrow. Please inform as many people as possible, so that let many people take benefit of this. Share the posters which has already been shared. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om.